Welcome, everyone. We are here. We just, probably like a lot of you, watched a few minutes ago the Trump-Theresa May news conference, his first news conference as president, at least according to the sources I saw.
Yeah, that's right.
Steve Luckner here with Brad Savage.
How you doing?
And we just want to give a chance to, we wanted to react to the press conference and give you a chance to talk to us about it. And so if you want to reach us here, you can either, oh, we're over there. Interesting.
Okay.
Fascinating.
This is odd.
We're here now. That's where we are, Brett.
On the one pointing at you?
No, we're on that. I think he pointed at that camera.
I don't know what he was pointing at.
Hey, Jake, if we're not looking at the right camera, let us know.
Yeah, Jake, that kind of was like...
So I think we're looking at the right camera now. I hope so. Anyways, if you want to reach us while we're talking about this, if you want to reach us while we're talking about this, you can, how should we do this, Brett? I think you can direct message me, right? You can DM me at @Lookner, which is at LOOKNER, and I'll be checking that, and you can message us and give your thoughts. So,
right.
So Brad, we saw this news conference.
Right.
It was very interesting. One of the most interesting moments to me was this moment when there's a British reporter who stood up to ask Theresa May the first question that she was getting asked.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 2 questions for him, 2 questions for her. And the British reporter stood up to ask her question. I think she was from BBC.
Right.
And she asked the question, and if I remember right, the question was something like, hey, you kept saying how you guys agree on stuff, but is there something you disagree on?
Yeah.
He kept starting to ask
about that. They
question.
wanted to dig that out of him.
Right.
So bad.
And before she even had a chance to answer, Trump made this face.
Yeah.
And he said something like, Brad, tell me if I'm doing this right.
Right.
Something like this is the person you choose to ask your question? So much for that relationship. And it was kind of like a really jokey face.
Yeah.
Now that's really interesting to me because it's
That's typical him calling out the reporters on their, insane questions, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think so was he criticizing the reporter?
Or
was he criticizing?
I think what he was criticizing was the general attitude amongst the reporters of always trying to search so hard for that negative.
Right.
They want to dig for that negative. They don't want to go over the glade. Let's say if it were Obama and Theresa May.
Right.
The reporters, they'd be, everything's, it's great, we don't want to really dig for the negative. We don't want to go after that type of stuff. We only want to talk about the good things. We're not going to ask you any real deep questions, but with Trump, it's like, we got to find something bad. Please tell us there's something bad.
So you see, this is interesting, because I was thinking, well, it was a little bit poking fun at Theresa May, for letting this reporter ask the question.
Right.
But it sounds like you're saying you think that when Trump was saying that, it was kind of a shot at the media for being negative.
Oh, he's always going to give a shot at the media.
Now, let me play devil's advocate here, though.
Sure.
Because somebody might say, look, hey, Trump, you seem to react, it seems like you don't want the media to ask anything challenging to you.
Right.
And shouldn't you be allowing that? And so, I'm just playing devil's advocate. So
so it's one thing to ask a question, but it's another thing to constantly dog him with these biased questions. I understand the media's obligation is to hold the president accountable. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that you on a daily basis attack him with you never hear anything positive about the Trump administration from the mainstream media, and that's because they're biased. They're totally biased. But I agree. That playing the devil's advocate. Well, isn't he supposed to be answering? Okay, yes, he is supposed to answer questions, but I think he's at the point now where he is so sick and fed up of being asked these same biased questions and being treated so unfairly by the media that he's probably pretty. A little bit of a short fuse. Maybe. He's probably cynical with it.
Now, if he is a little bit fed up. I mean, it's only day one of his administration.
He's a little jaded with the media.
Today is it the 27th, so it's the 7th day of his administration, or 8th day.
That's right, 7th day.
So something's going to give here. Maybe nothing will give, but it seems. So my worry is.
Hopefully the air conditioning gives, because it is freezing.
It's very cold in here, but we're powering through. We're glad the AC works, though.
We're glad the AC works in January.
Jake, do we need anything? You need anything from us?
It's only 40 degrees outside.
It's not plugged in? Oops.
Oops.
How about that?
I did plug that in, but it's not on. What?
It's plugged in.
It's plugged in. Is it on the camera?
We're just getting my mic going here.
Should be a
testing
going.
Jake, can you hear?
Is it an issue with the flux capacitor, or? I'm just kidding.
We're gonna wait and talk until Jake confirms that you.
So I'm going to talk like this, so he can hear me. You guys can hear Steve. Can you hear Steve?
Well, I'm not talking, so they can't hear me.
Talk.
Now they can hear me. Oh, you're saying here through there.
Yeah.
I talk like that.
Hey.
Jake, are we better now?
Are we two guys? Two. Okay, this is the.
Oh, we're better. Okay.
This is the two dudes news. Two dudes news.
So, Brad, you were saying you have a theory that Trump at this point. So he gave a little bit of what could be seen as a criticism of a reporter's question when a reporter today in the press conference asked Theresa May if she and Trump had found anything to disagree on.
Right.
And you're saying you think Trump is maybe a little fed up with the media.
He's jaded.
Right. And I was saying, well, maybe he is fed up, but if he is, it's only 7 days in.
Yeah.
And I was
7 days into his presidency.
Good, fair point.
More than 7. Well, more than 7 days.
Very fair point, because he could be fed up with a year of whatever of
year
all the
and
other
a half,
stuff.
2 years. Maybe
So look, my worry is if you're someone who wants Trump to accomplish what he said he's going to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
My worry
like
here
me.
is just that, like you, and I think a lot of our viewers out there, it's a bit of a worry, I think, if he's going to have a negative relationship with the press, because here's my worry. When I know people who aren't anti-Trump, but they were sort of on the fence, and they're ready. They have an open mind about him. Maybe they're not career Republicans, or maybe they're Republicans, but they didn't vote for Trump. But they're very ready to have an open mind.
Okay, good.
And I do know a number of these people personally who have said to me this week, when they see the way he's acting, when he's a little bristly or something, or when he says like.
That gives them a bad taste.
There's a number of people who said to me personally they were open to him right when he was inaugurated, and they're getting a bit of a bad taste of him in this past week and like turning off to him a little bit. And I don't want it to be the case that our president turns off the country. So what do you think? Should he do anything? Should he worry about this?
No, because look, I have to turn this around on you now.
Okay.
President Trump is also the first president that I know of who has offered to allow 500.
So TaxAct gives me free filing, plus access to last year's return and unlimited phone support. The extra stuff that TurboTax and H&R Block charge for.
So it's like